Happy Wednesday, Georgian Bay, and welcome to this week's episode of The Scoop, your backstage pass to the people, stories, and conversations shaping our community. I'm Nadia Hovan, and today, Janene and I are back in the studio with another local story to share.
That's right, Katerina is still away working overseas, but the good news is we've got something truly sweet lined up for you today. First, though, question for you. When you think of the most beautiful meal or treat you've had, what made it beautiful? Was it the look, the flavor, the story behind the preparation of the meal? What?
Well, I do love when something comes, like say I'm at a restaurant and something comes to my table and it's drizzled in something beautiful and deliciousness, and it has, like fancy stuff. It makes me not want to eat it. Like I almost feel like this should just sit on the table for the rest of the night and not eat it. But
See that?
in my heart of hearts, the most beautiful cake I've ever eaten, seen was one that my daughter made when she was like 8 years old. It was an absolute disaster, but it was like made with such love and such, care that I was like, this is the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. And I even featured it in a piece I did, like a journalism piece that I did, because I was like, look at this masterpiece. This cake is.
I love that. I was going to say something, but I was more taken back by the way you look like a Disney princess as you were describing what your daughter did for you.
Aww.
Honestly, you're like,
some people are in love, with the
did you see it? It was so beautiful. But let me answer this question for myself. I'm a visual eater. So if it comes to my table and it is just gorgeous, I can't do anything. It's to the point where I don't even want to touch it anymore. I don't. But so I'm definitely a visual person. It has to look good. It has to be appealing before I dive into it.
Right.
If you bring something to me and it looks like, I'm not eating it.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, today's guest is a true artist when it comes to food and beauty. We're so excited to introduce you to Violet Roseman, a Collingwood-based baker who's redefining what decadent can mean with wild foraged flowers, small batch chocolate, and a whole lot of heart.
Indeed. Violet is the creator behind Petals Dough, specializing in all of these things that make a lot of you sick, So her goods, they don't just taste amazing, but they look as though they belong in a gallery. Violet, we welcome you and thank you so much for joining us today.
Yay, Violet!
All right, Violet, we're going to dive right in. Tell us about your story. You told me about it before, but I want you to tell these people why you started this.
Why I started it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I went to school to be a pastry chef in '97, and I was taught traditionally with lard, white flour, white sugar, and I didn't want to replicate that. I didn't want to continue that cycle going because everybody that tasted baked goods that tasted good, they always said the same thing, like, why is this so bad for us? Why can't we have our cake and eat it too, that old saying? And I just knew I wasn't going to create that way. I was really into nutrition. I was really into beauty. And I'm like, we can have it all. We can totally have it all. It can taste good and it can be highly nutritious. So everybody that tries gluten-free, I heard them say, like, this is garbage. It tastes horrible. It's dry. And I would go along and I would taste all these gluten-free products. I'm like, this is horrible. So I didn't want to just make something that was beautiful. I wanted to make something that everybody could have. And I kind of wanted to prove people wrong that gluten-free could be really good. So I started off by making a flour blend because I knew it was all in the flour. I didn't even know what the product was going to be. I just knew that I wanted to change the dynamic of the flour consistency so it could be an all-purpose flour for everybody to use. And we can drop the whole label of gluten-free or vegan or paleo. This is just an all-purpose flour that's really nutritional. So I started with the flour. I went into my mad chemist zone and alchemized this beautiful flour concept, and it came to be. And when I started using it in regular recipes, it was the same, even better. Wow. The flavor was incredible. The texture was amazing. And so then I started creating something that I knew I wanted to be really, really good. And I knew I wanted to create one thing that was exceptional. And for me, it needed to be exceptional in the way it looks, the texture, the fridge life, the expiry date had to be great. It had to be appealing to all people through their eyes and all their senses. I like food to be a real experience. So I first created scones they were garbage.
Mm.
They were so, I did not love them. They were garbage. And then I created these little heart-shaped biscuits. I'm like, everybody loves hearts. Everybody feels warm and soft when they see a heart. And then the flower petals came in because I kept making things with flowers, but I kept hiding that. I'm like, okay, people need to experience this.
Yes.
They're ready for this. So 2 recipes came to be. I was accepted to the Collingwood startup program for the business center, and that just allowed my business to flourish. So I was at markets last year. I was traveling around. It was a lot of fun, but it still wasn't something that everybody wanted. And then all of a sudden, I made some donuts for a couple friends, and then I just, as I do, I just feed people.
Yeah.
And when I started feeding them this, they're just like can't speak, eyes roll back, like full experience. And I'm like, that's the thing.
I can attest to that.
A guilt-free donut.
Amazing. You mentioned flowers. So you actually forage?
I do.
And where do you find these flowers?
It's along my walk.
Really?
Yeah, so it's just knowing what flowers to choose. And they're everywhere. So the flowers that I picked for you this morning, the wild violets, I knew that they were in season and I've been waiting for them to bloom.
Amazing. So a lot of your baking is gluten, dairy, egg, vegan, free, sorry. Was that always your goal, or did that evolve naturally?
I didn't plan it to be,
Right.
but it just became that because the ingredients I was using, they were clean. So my focus was clean, high nutrition with great taste. And then when I put it together and I was starting to label it, I was like, oh, these are actually free from this, this, and this. Okay, that's another piece that I can add into my brand and how I speak to it. And so they're very diverse.
So, what is one flower, or like, what is your favorite flower to bake with? Or what is one flower you have not used yet?
Okay, so up and coming will be magnolia flowers. So that's they're on their way. And
You
so
can bake them, you can eat. They're edible?
Oh yeah, magnolia, lilac.
I would imagine your fragrance even better than vanilla.
Oh, I'm
or maybe
sure.
up there with vanilla.
Yeah, and they're all mild floral scents, so it's not overpowering. Like even the violets, if you get one in your mouth, it actually accelerates the flavor of the baked good. It doesn't overpower.
I feel the need to try.
A violet, yeah.
Do you put the flowers in with your flour before it bakes, or
Some.
just sprinkled on top?
I make lemon lavender biscuits, and I do bake the lavender with the biscuits. I bake them, and when the house smells amazing.
So good.
But the donuts I wanted to keep as the same base ingredients. That never changes. There is not any flour essence or powder or flowers in the donuts, but there is on top. So I wanted to make it more appealing to the eye and keep it so it's a seasonal foraged flower. So right now it's violets, then it will be lilacs and dandelions. And I'll wait to hear what people say about dandelions, right? Magnolia, and then tulips are edible. Hyacinth. Roses, my rosebud is about to bloom. So
You're going to go crazy.
to me, this is just, I get really excited.
I think we would be remiss if we didn't draw attention to the fact that her name is Violet Roseman.
Men.
She started in this career by making her own flour and then adding flowers to her ingredients. Please tell me
She's a
all
garden
about
all her
this
own.
kismet universe coming together for all of your pieces.
I just feel like it's evident. Like why wouldn't I?
It's like meant to be.
Right? Like, we often ask ourselves, like, what is my purpose here? And I don't know, like sometimes it's just like right there and like, why are you turning away from it? So I just needed to turn towards it. So
Go with your purpose. Yeah.
It's a branding brilliance.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm so excited, even though it's rainy, because Janene and I are here outside of Violet's house, and we're gonna see some baking, and we are going to pick some flowers maybe, and she's just gonna show us around. What do you think?
Oh my goodness! Look who just flew in from Europe and surprised us in the garden.
I'm sorry
Talking about.
Well, Violet, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your passion, artistry, and wild and beautiful world with us.
Yeah. Up next, we are hitting the streets to find out what people like to do now that spring has officially, S-P-R-U-N-G, sprung.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
Got my flowers, got my flowers. You pick everything that's out there because, you know, animals are out there urinating on stuff, and so is it better to just grow your own?
It's better to just stop thinking about that. Because honestly, like, that's a limitation.
Hi, we're from the Scoop Georgian Bay, and we're just wondering how people are spending this beautiful spring day today.
Well, I had an hour lunch break, so I went and got a ham and cheese sandwich from Brightside, and I just found a bench and enjoyed it there.
Taking in the sunshine and the warmth.
Yes, taking it all in as much as I can get, and then heading back to my cubicle. Womp.
Well, I'm with my mom and sister. My sister's from London, England, so she's all the way across the pond coming to visit. And I'm just showing them around downtown Collingwood, all like the stores and restaurants and little fun things to explore.
And sporting all your Pride gear.
Oh, of course. And yeah, Pride coming up soon, July 11th, 12th. Woohoo!
Walking.
You spend your spring days walking?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. I walk every day and I don't miss whether or not. And I've been doing that for over 3 years now. Just trying to keep myself fit. You know, at 81, you have to.
We just want to know how you're spending your beautiful spring day.
Well, I'm about to work soon, but before that, I just got some coffee and I'm enjoying the fresh air.
Where do you work?
Lowdown.
Oh, you work at Lowdown.
Great
Oh, okay.
cocktails.
Yes. But out enjoying a beautiful day.
We have to.
Yeah.
At this rate, I think winter has been, so horrible this year to us? Yeah, just going up and down, looking at everything, checking out some stores, and trying to be a slight little business person on the side.
What's your business?
So it's a bath and body care. It's called the Rustic Tub, and we are completely vegan and made for sensitive skin, bath bomb, soap, hair care, and everything. Took my knowledge of skincare as a makeup artist in the film industry and brought it back out east here.
Where's your store?
La Fontaine.
Amazing.
Yeah, so little town over there, not too big, so it's about an hour away. We're neighbors on the lake.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you so
check it
much.
out.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy your walk.
So what's the scoop, Georgian Bay? You tell us.
If you've got an event, story, or local business we should know about, pop us off an email or drop us a comment below. We'd love to feature you. Thanks for watching.